Hey guys, Michael here from michaelsherlock.com. I'm here with the Sprint Epic 4G by Samsung, which is a Galaxy S variant. And this product will ship for $249.99 with a 2-year contract on Sprint. It'll be launching on August 31st, 2010. I'd just like to give you my review on it. We've looked at several videos giving you in-depth looks at certain features and aspects of this phone, and I just want to give you my final conclusion. So first, let's just profile what this thing looks like here. And just for comparison, here's the Droid 2. So it's not very, it's long to accompany that 4-inch screen, but I found it still pocketable. It's actually pretty light for its size, and of course, it fits comfortably in the hand and on the face. And of course, it has that 5-row QWERTY keyboard. Now, this is like I said, this is a Galaxy S variant, but this is one of the unique features of the Epic 4G. This full QWERTY keyboard. It's backlit, has 3 rows just for letters, and a full number key on the top. Now, this, I have to say, is an extremely big selling point for me. Why? This is the second best mobile keyboard I've ever used. The only thing that beats it was the HTC Touch Pro 2 keyboard, which I reviewed that phone a few months back. But besides that, this keyboard rocks. Everything's spaced out. It's still pretty flush if you look at it, but because they're spaced out and domed a little bit, it's still really easy to type on here. I think I've given you a text input video on this, so you've seen that. And it's really hard to demo typing on when you're doing a review just because of the camera angles. But it's really a great keyboard and a big selling point. Speaking of unique features to the Epic 4G, another reason why this is unique is 4G. Other Galaxy S variants don't have it. Sprint is technically the only carrier that has 4G in the United States at this point, although Verizon is coming right up behind them. Now, don't get me wrong, Sprint's 3G service is really good. Where I live, I've gotten really good coverage from 3G, and you won't be disappointed with it, honestly. It'll do the job just as you'd like a mobile phone to do. But once you're in a 4G place, and we all know that 4G really isn't rolled out everywhere, but if you happen to be in there, although you will take a hit with battery life, you'll still be able to get through the day. And 4G speeds are just really blazing fast. I was able to test 4G a little while ago, a few days ago, and it is just blistering fast. It is really mobile broadband, and that's what the aim of 4G has been. I've been extremely impressed with that. So those are the two unique things about the Epic 4G. And I've really been impressed with it. Another thing I really like about this phone, not all phones have it, but notification light. So when the screen is off, you can see when you have new notifications, which is really unique. It'll just start flashing red, and it's just really convenient. Notification management is something that one of the phones I use, the iPhone, doesn't have, and it's really frustrating. But to have this flash, so no matter if it rings in your pocket or whatever, that's fine. But until you actually, do something with it, that'll keep flashing, and it's just really convenient. So this is a phone call, so it has to be able to make good phone calls. Does it make good phone calls? Yes. Sure, simply put, most phones do at this point. They all have solid radios. People didn't report any issues on this mobile phone. I didn't have any issues hearing people. There wasn't a lot of audible hiss in the background, and I didn't have really any dropped calls during testing, which of course is good. And one thing that I'm not going to show you, but I just like to gloss over, is the Contacts app. I really love the Contacts application. It allows me to, of course, I can pull. What I was able to do is, since I have my contacts and address book on my Mac, I was able to synchronize address book with Google, with my Google account. That then was able to push it to the Contacts app. So all wirelessly, this was synchronized. And then it has the pictures that I put for everybody, and you can see the pictures on the left-hand side. They're really crisp and really nice, and you can quickly, scroll through all your contacts. So I really love the Contacts app, just as an FYI, because you really get it's really picture-oriented, and you can see the pictures that you have set for people. So phone contacts, messaging, of course, is really nice too. It's really pretty simple. You have threaded messaging, and you can go ahead and do that. So those are the primary functions of a cell phone. But for a smartphone, the browser is really an important thing. So again, one of the downsides to this is it doesn't currently have Froyo. So when Froyo update comes, and it will be coming shortly, you will get flash in the browser, and that'll be something that's really cool, especially with this Hummingbird processor that does a really good job. So at this point, though, you don't have flash, but that's not really a big deal. You can still easily browse web pages, read whatever. And let's say you want to go to the New York Times. I'm at a weird angle here, by the way, so bear with me. I believe that'll bring you to the New York Times. It's going to load a mobile site. But, the web browsing experience is really easy. You can see that loaded really quick, of course, over Wi-Fi. But there's no problems, zooming in and out. And one thing that I really like is the text will wrap. So I'll zoom in, it'll wrap. I'll zoom in, it'll wrap even more. I'll zoom out, and everything will sort of be fit to the page so you can read all that content, although you really can't read it from this far out. That's something that I really like, intelligent wrapping. A lot of browsers don't have this, and so needless to say, it's kind of hard to browse sometimes, but this is a truly excellent implementation, and once they get flash in here with Froyo, I'll be really happy with that. So this is a solid phone. Again, you have the market to expand it, but one of the things that I don't like about the GUI is that this isn't stock Android. As you can see this with your own two eyes in HD. This is TouchWiz. Now, don't get me wrong, TouchWiz isn't bad per se, but honestly, it's not a killing feature for me. If you think that getting this skin over Android is going to be an improvement, probably not. You may be better with stock Android. And I, in some cases, would like to see, the standard icons that Google has for you. But on the other hand, it's not really that big of a deal. So it's sort of a neutral thing that it doesn't have stock Android. Now, basically, the screen is awesome. I did a video on this in the past, comparing it to the iPhone screen, and both the screens are truly excellent, but I think, just so you're aware, this screen is awesome. As you can see, the blacks are so black, okay? It gets this black when you're watching media playback, and you can see that's black paint, and that's the screen. So it is really, really black and deep. The contrast ratio is really high. And Super AMOLED is actually pretty battery efficient as well, although it does obviously take up battery life. So in the future, once this becomes more widely available, you'll be able to see it for yourself. But at this point, just trust me, Super AMOLED is really a nice technology. It does a great job for movie content and all that. And again, it has battery benefits as well. And I really been extremely impressed by the screen. So that's about it. I really love the Epic 4G. I highly recommend this phone. I cannot tell you a phone that I would recommend higher for for Sprint. I think this is much better than the Evo 4G. I think it's better than the Palm Pre, obviously. That hasn't been updated in a while on Sprint. I think this is the perfect phone. If you're on Sprint and you're looking for a smartphone, you must buy the Epic 4G. I really, really, really love this phone. And honestly, I would consider switching. If you're at the end of your contract and you're maybe on T-Mobile, other carriers as well, this phone is really, really awesome. And I think it's the best of all the Galaxy S variants because it has 4G and because it has that kick-ass keyboard. I really think that it's worth it to go ahead and get the Epic 4G. It's more expensive than the other Galaxy S phones. Again, $250 with a 2-year contract. But I highly recommend it, and I think it's completely worth every penny. The Epic 4G is an awesome phone and one worth your money. Again, I'm Michael Strellick from michaelstrellick.com. I hope you like my review of this phone. Obviously, it has some downsides. But with software updates, a lot of that will be fixed. And hardware-wise, it has all the specs you'd want. It fits comfortably in your hand. It has a full QWERTY keyboard that's really good, Super AMOLED display, and high-definition video recording. So, I'd just like to hear your feedback in the comments below. Do you think this is the best Galaxy S variant? And do you think there's any phone that can beat this on Sprint's lineup at this point? I don't think so, but I'd love to hear your feedback. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day, guys.